Abraham, father of faith, professional tent dweller, occasional liar, long-term waiter. Come, let me tell you what it felt like to follow a God who gives promises, and then test your patience with them. My name was Abram, just Abram. No father of many nations, no legacy, just a man living comfortably in Ur, a city, security, structure. Then God spoke. Leave your country, your people, your father's household, and go to the land I will show you. Notice something. He didn't give the address, no Google Maps, no turn left at the big oak tree. Just go. And I went. Packed tents, livestock, family. My wife Sarai looked at me like, "Are we sure about this?" No, we were not sure, but we moved anyway. Faith sometimes looks like relocating without knowing the destination. God said, "I will make you into a great nation." Now here's the funny part. We had no children. 0. Years passed. Still 0. More years. Still 0. I'm getting older. Sarai's getting older. Biology is not cooperating. At one point, I gently suggested to God, "Maybe you mean my servant?" God said, "No, your own son." I nodded like I understood. Inside, I was thinking, "Sir, respectfully, have you seen our birth certificates?" Let me confess something. When we went to Egypt during a famine, I got scared. Sarai was beautiful. Like this could get me killed, beautiful. So I told her, "Say you're my sister." Not my proudest moment. Technically, she was my half-sister, but still, coward move. Pharaoh took her into his house. God stepped in fast. Plagues, confusion. Pharaoh basically said, "Take your wife and go." I left Egypt wealthier and slightly embarrassed. Faith giant? Sometimes. Flawless hero? Absolutely not. One night God took me outside. Look up at the sky. Count the stars if you can. I tried. Failed. He said, "So shall your offspring be." And something shifted in me. It says I believed the Lord, and He credited it to me as righteousness. I didn't have proof. I had wrinkles, but I had His word. And sometimes His word is the only thing holding you up. Years kept passing. Sarai and I got tired of waiting, so we improvised. Her idea was that I have a child through Hagar, her servant, human solution, divine promise, bad mix. Ishmael was born, and tension filled the tent. Waiting is hard, but forcing God's timing is harder. Even then, God did not abandon us. He cared for Ishmael too. Grace again. When I was 99, yes, 99, God appeared again. I am God Almighty. Walk before me faithfully. Then He changed my name to Abraham, father of many nations. I laughed, literally, laughed. Face down, old man laughter, not mocking, just stunned. And when He said Sarah would have a son, she laughed too. We were that couple, 2 seniors laughing about maternity plans. But God wasn't joking. At 100 years old, I held Isaac in my arms. Isaac, which means He laughs. God named our miracle after our doubt. That's humor and mercy combined. Then came the test, the one that makes my voice quieter. Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and sacrifice him. I waited decades for that boy. Every promise attached to him. Every star in the sky whispered his name. And now, this? I did not argue this time. I rose early. We walked up the mountain. Isaac carried the wood. He asked, "Father, where is the lamb?" And I said, "God Himself will provide." I don't know if my voice shook. Mine did inside. I bound my son, raised the knife. And at the last second, "Abraham, do not lay a hand on the boy." A ram caught in the thicket. Provision. God never wanted Isaac's blood. He wanted my trust. And on that mountain I learned, the God who asks is also the God who provides. Faith is not instant bravery. It is long obedience. It is moving when directions are unclear. It is believing when biology says no. It is laughing and still trusting. It is failing and still being called friend of God. Yes, friend. That is what he called me. Not servant, not subject. Friend. And I was not perfect. I doubted, panicked, improvised. But I kept walking, tent to tent, altar to altar, step by step. If God gives you a promise that seems impossible, laugh if you must, but don't walk away. If he tells you to move, pack the tent. If he makes you wait, look at the stars. If he tests your heart, trust that he sees further than you do. I am Abraham. Once Abram, wanderer, father, laugher, friend of God. And proof that faith is not about perfection. It is about trusting the one who keeps his word.